Salutations, everyone. No, I do not worship the devil. I'm just gaming on another level. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Demonic Angel, as always, and here we are with another DC Dark Legion video. Today, we starting this new series that I've been wanting to do, highlighting each hero and champion and villain alike, and giving them a character spotlight to show you a deep dive on what they do, how to utilize them in an efficient way, the gear you should put on them, what modes are they best suited for. Try to answer a lot of these questions. Now, full disclosure, I don't know all this stuff right offhand. I'm not no stat nerd, nothing like there's anything against those people. But I just don't know a lot about this game. So my whole goal and approach is to kind of learn together. You know what I'm saying? Even if you guys have some information that you could add to the situation, throw it in the comments, man. I'm always looking to start the dialogue. That's the whole purpose of these videos, is so we can all learn and more efficiently utilize these heroes, champions. So in Batman's case, I'm going to take all his gear off, right? So we're going to do that. Strip him naked of gear. We want him to keep his clothes on. We don't want him butt naked. All right, so now we get a better look at his raw stats. Now, some of these would be a little skewed because of my, what do you call it here? My laboratory, right? So some of the stuff here, you get some of these inherent attributes to your stats. So like you'll see spiritual pin. He doesn't do spiritual damage, but you'll see that in his kit because that's what I have as my research lab stuff. And then on top of that, what my guild has, we have some stuff as well. Where is it here? Yeah, we also get stuff per hero and champion and things of that nature. You know, so these are our stats. So his stats gonna be a little skewed, but the whole purpose of this is to kind of get him to like a baseline so that we all can be on the same type level with Batman. And I feel like him being at 4 blue stars is obtainable. They do have him in the starter kit, and this is the only way I've seen you be able to get his shards. I'm not spending $50 just yet unless it's going to be like a tax write-off or something, which I don't get paid to do this, so it's going to be no tax write-off. But I do want to get this so I can get some more shards and start him up, because I do believe he's a decent character. Actually, a little better than decent. I'm not going to do a tier ranking of him, but I just want to talk about the viability of the character. So let's go to Batman again, right? His base stats are as follows. So he's got attack, HP, defense. It's pretty low. Attack anyway. But he got HP. Let's put him in comparison to like another hero. Such as, well, not hero, another champion. Let's go against Harley. Similar person. Let's take the gear off her as well. Remove all. And remove that. So let's look at her base stats. 6,600 attack, 117,000 HP, 3,600 defense, 3,700 men. Right? 66, 117, 36, and 37.
I am vengeance.
66, 117, 36, and 37. So his stats are naturally higher than hers. He is first of all, before we do that, he is a warrior. Warriors are stalwart, frontline defenders known for their robust physique and powerful melee attacks. They absorb and deal devastating damage. So he's kind of like an off tank, an offensive tank, and he can be a tank as well. Depends on how you build him. He's very versatile, right? So we'll go through his kit and we'll show you what his moves do and highlight those as well. So his first skill is called Dark Knight Detective. Every 9 seconds, Batman dodges a basic attack and throws a batarang at the attacker, dealing physical damage equal to 100% of his attack and interrupting the target, after which Batman becomes briefly untargetable and gains a 15% physical defensive bonus for 5 seconds. When you max this out, all the values increase, obviously. And let's go through that, and we probably should have did that from the beginning so we could see. But like I said, I just wanted to have like a more generic kind of explanation, because not everyone has him at 5 red stars. There are some people that do. I'm clearly not one of them. But to get a better idea of what his skill looks like at max form, this is what we have. So instead of 15%, you get 30%. Still 5 seconds. And I believe this was every 9 seconds, but it starts every 6 seconds, so much more frequently. Second skill, called Utility Belt. Batman throws a smoke bomb, dealing physical damage equal to 300% of his attack to enemies within a circular area, with a base chance of 50% to reduce their attack by 30%. So I'll highlight both of these moves because it's cool to be able to read this, but when you put it on ×2 speed and you're going through the matches, it's kind of hard to identify what move is what. So in this video, I'm going to showcase each move individually. Using his advanced bat gear, Batman deals physical damage equal to 750% of his attack to enemies within range. If there are 3 to 5 Justice League allies present at the start of battle, damage is increased by an additional 290 to 580% of his attack. That's his ultimate skill, right? And if you notice, Batman being a human and not having any superpowers, his moves are basically AoE. So he hits multiple targets. Not this one in particular. This one is single target, but this is AoE because it hits enemies in a circular area. And this is AoE because it hits enemies in a circular area as well. Here's his 2 passives. At the start of the battle, each Justice League ally present grants Batman 1 stack up of 15% attack up. And then lastly, his last skill is last passive is increased warriors. Champions dodge by 10%, applies globally. So it doesn't matter what mode you're in, all the champions that are warriors in the team with Batman will gain 10% dodge. Right? So just judging off his kit and the way everything's worded and the way everything works, he is capable of sustaining a lot of damage. He mitigates damage by not being able to be targeted after doing certain attacks, such as this one here. So you can't even hit him. This one he debuffs the enemy by reducing their attack against you, which also increases his survivability. And then he becomes stronger depending on how many allies he has. So he's very team-based. He's not really good by himself, but we do have some videos showcasing him by himself. But he's much better when he has Justice League members with him, along with obviously his Bat family. And speaking of that, these are his tag synergies that he has. He has Bat family, which increases the crit rate depending on how many Bat family members are there. All right, so here are some Bat family members that we have in the game currently. Do not have Nightwing on this server. We are on 221, but these are all the Bat family characters you can use. Right, so that's Bat family. Then you got Justice League, which he clearly had in his kit. So these are the characters you can use for that. And a couple people you can sub out as well. This is the optimal lineup that the game recommends. And lastly, he has Weapon Master. So deploying 3 Weapon Master champions increases their attack. So it basically makes your team stronger, right? So we got tag synergies we went over his moves. Let's illustrate exactly what these moves do. Well, let's start off with the utility belt. This way he throws the smoke bomb and he debuffs the defender, reducing their attack by a certain percentage. You can tell that's it because you saw how it said attack down over the character after you hit him with that particular move. So it's kind of dope to, see these moves in action and actually see them have the effect that it says that it has on them. Like this one. He jumps back and he throws the Batarang, Dark Knight Detective. You can tell that's it, because he jumps back and throws a big ass Batarang at fucking Aquaman. Fucks him up with that shit too. So like 90% of his health with that one Batarang. And why is it so big? Pause. Yeah, let's just move right along. That threw me off guard, but we getting into the ultimate move that poor little Raven has to sustain by herself after Lex just got demolished over there behind him. And he's just dropping bombs all on her neck, bro. Just like so terrible. But those are his 3 moves. He got the 2 passes as well. Just throw some Trainer Simulator content in there just to show him with the Bat family what they can do as currently constructed, because I don't have Nightwing just yet. But yeah, this is Batman's skills and how they look in its entirety. Okay, so we've got a lot of things out of the way. Let's continue the process and finish up strong with, I believe, these last 2 aspects of the character. Gear, clearly you want to get with the best gear you could potentially get. Just got to level 32 of the base, so I'm able to craft some pretty decent gear for warriors. Still got better stuff up here. And is there one more? This is probably the best one. Yeah, so I got one more to just get all 500s. But right now we're able to get 20% 500s and the rest, 281, level 281 to level 400. 80% of getting those. But 20% of this, and we're getting his gear up there. Of course, Superman gets the best gear.
I am Superman.
So he's got all this stuff. I need to transmute some of this stuff because I do have quite a few of these, but we'll do that on another video. Back to Batman.
I am vengeance.
So you want to get the best gear you can potentially get, and then you also want to look into these legacy pieces. I did a video about this. I'll put a description. I'll tag the video up here in the corner, but I did a video about legacy pieces for 3 particular characters, but they all have different stats, values, and how they affect these numbers here. Oh, hey Batman, move around. Yeah, they all affect these numbers here. So they say that he should have the Prometheus claws on. So let's just do that, for shits and giggles. All right, so the Prometheus claws gives HP, helps with his survivability, attack, helps him hit harder, and crit resist also helps with his survivability. But the special ability of the gear itself is increased attack by 8% when HP drops below 50%. Gains a shield equal to 10% of max HP for 12 seconds. Can be triggered once per battle. So this definitely helps with the survivability. Also remembering that Batman is able to be untargetable after he does a skill. And he also lowers the offense's attack towards him. So, this would help him survive more and give him more attack to kill people, right? But I had the mirror on him. Also, I got 2 stars up here, so the values will be a little skewed. But I had the duplication mirror on him, and I had that because it increases attack by 6% upon taking a melee attack. He's a melee character. Increases the damage reduction by 12%. And that's for 8 seconds, but every 12 seconds that happens. So being that he's a melee character, he's going to be in the trenches getting punched on. You know what I'm saying? I felt it was better to do this. Either or, you couldn't go wrong with either of these freaking legacy pieces. I would not put on him this here because he's not a tank. And these are specifically for tanks. Now, if you just want him to be your tank, then that's fine. Like I said earlier, he's versatile. You can have him play different roles. He could be an offensive tank or a defensive tank. It doesn't matter. But I personally think he's best suited to be offensively used as a tank because he does do pretty good damage. And he hits, a lot of AoE targets. Definitely don't want to put Superman on him, cape on him, unless you don't have Superman. But even then, only thing you'd get is this here. And the attack, and crit damage. So it's not a bad piece to have, but by this time you should have Superman at least. And if you have his cape, it should be on Superman, no one else. You could put on the not so huge hammer, give him some HP, some attack, some crit damage. This crit damage stat, man, I'm like, okay, so with the Bat family, they give crit rate. So him having crit damage should help, right? So we go, he's got 0 here. That's the gear effect, so there's no crit on his gear. But here, he's got 150 crit rate, 6% crit damage. But then, depending on the team you put him on, he'll have more crit rate and more crit damage as well. So it's not bad to have crit damage on Batman himself. Clearly, if you, as I stated in the other video, like I said, I'll post it in the upper right-hand corner. If you have higher rarity of these, say like these epics, the values will be higher, right? So this is 5 red stars, plus 29% HP. Now, even with these that give HP, well, it's only a number increase. This gives number increase. Anything gives, I think this does 12%, right? And this is a legendary piece. I believe it's epic, legendary, and I don't remember what it was. Anywho, but yeah, this gives 29% and it's purple rarity, whereas this is red, so it should be a better gear. But we only got one. Well, we don't have a copy of this, but when we get one copy of it, the value of HP alone, if that's what we were specifically looking to build Batman towards, it would be better to use a lower rarity, higher stars than a better rarity, lower star type of piece. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the value would be more with these here than it would one of these. Now this one's getting a little higher because, you know, I've gotten a couple copies of this so far, but at the same time, if I wanted him specifically for this example to be built with HP, I would go with this piece. This one just gives 750, so that's not good. 750 plus 29%. That 29% really makes a difference. As a matter of fact, let's look at it. HP 50, 576, right? So if we switch that 5576 and we put this on him, 5576. Now he's at 71, 691. You see what I'm saying? Like, way more survivability if you put that on him. But all these legacy pieces is based on the mold you're playing and your team composition, right? So if you're playing something where you don't need him to survive as much, you want him to put more damage out, such as a combat cycle boss, then you might want to switch the piece to something that gives more offense. And in that case, with Batman specifically, the piece that would give him the most offense that I believe would probably be the not so huge hammer, because you get 19% attack. Is there anything else that gives? Well, this gives 29% attack. So there you go. You would go with this one. And just so you'll see the difference, he has on this one 1355. We're going to replace it with this. So he's at 1355, now he's 1647, and we're going to go even higher. First, let's put that back because I don't want to mess up my characters. And what's the other one? This one here. 21. You know, so it all depends on the mode you're playing. If you're doing PvP against other humans, you might want to put on stuff that has extra benefits, such as some of this stuff here, like these legendary legacy pieces. And the last thing I want to touch on would be the Force, right? So he's got one of the moves here, Dark Knight Detective. This one, he jumps back every 9 seconds and throws the Batarang. This gives him more attack for that move, so that's something you might want to invest in. Definitely want to invest in. This gives the cooldown for the utility belt move, so you'll get this more often. This is the one where he makes the defense, debuffs them and lowers their attack. You know what I'm saying? So that's something you want to invest in as well. And then to increase his survivability, you give him more defense here. So these three skills, I would invest in Batman if he's someone you want to main. And then all the extra stats you want to put up as well, or as far as long as you see fit. You know, if you feel like you need some more HP, then jump on. I would go with the HP percentage over flat HP every game. Doesn't matter the game, but you'll get way more return on investment with HP percent than you would flat HP. Crit resist helps him with his survivability. Physical pin, you definitely want to do that to help him with his damage output. But that is the things that I would prioritize. Definitely his moves, and then you'd go either attack. Does he have attack percent? That's definitely not it. He's got crit damage. I don't think he has attack percent up here. That's HP again. This is crit resist, physical pin, and yeah, that's it. So crit damage, physical pin, and attack. So if you want him to be an offensive tank, then you want to go with all the offensive stuff. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4 of those here. This is crit resist. If you want to be defensive, you want to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's 4 for offense, 4 for defense, and level up the skills obviously for better cooldown, more defense percentage, and that's the better cooldown. And this is more attack. So yep, that is Batman in a nutshell. This is his character spotlight. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have anything to add to it, maybe I misspoke on something, or you just want to, contribute to the conversation, by all means, do not hesitate to jump into that comment box and let your voices be heard. Let's get together and figure out what's the best way to utilize these champions in this game, because I want to be great. I am number 3 in my guild right now. 4. This guy got me. Maybe after today, when I level up my heroes that I have, I can jump up a little bit more. But that is it. We got some more Deathstroke copies. I haven't pulled for Sinestro just yet. We still working on Deathstroke because I want to get him up a little higher. But again, thank y'all for tuning in. This has been Batman Character Spotlight, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Thank you very much. Peace.